going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Jackwoods. This is the Caged match, and this is going to be a look at AEW Dynamite for January 15th, 2020. You start out right away with a hell of a match. And they kind of did the exact same thing they did last week, and I'll get into that in a second. You start out with Kenny Omega and Adam Page versus Santana and Ortiz of Inner Circle, Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor versus the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson. And with all the talent in the ring, you know this is going to be a spectacle of a match. It was just absolutely fucking phenomenal. So many crazy spots, so many crazy moves in here. Extremely high octane, and there were, other people from WWE heel tweeting about it. But it was amazing. It really was just absolutely an amazing match. So the winner of this match gets to go on to face SCU for the tag titles next week. And I thought it was great. I really did. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. At the end of the day, Kenny Omega, who just got massive pops throughout this match, and Adam Page won the match. Absolutely great way to start. Then you get a Joey Janela promo, which was there. I don't know that it really took me away, but it didn't do anything for me either. I think he's really got to find himself as far as promos go. But then, exactly true to form to last week, they start out with something absolutely amazing, and they go right into the Nightmare Collective, which was an absolute shit show. This was Brandy, Rhodes, and Mel, and I think her name's Melanie Hicks or something like that, but they brought out Luther too, and they were taking on Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida, and this was a clusterfuck of a match. Mel is big, but she's very awkward and very stiff, and she really brought nothing to the table as far as I was concerned in this match. And Brandy Rhodes was even worse. So it doesn't matter if you got Hikaru Shida in here or Chris Statlander. It wasn't good. Like, none of this was good. It was honestly the worst match I've seen on AEW TV so far. Honestly, the worst. Just terrible. I said last week they've really got to get rid of this Nightmare Collective idea, and this just really backs up my statement. They've got to lose it. Otherwise, they're going to start losing people. People are going to start losing interest with shit like this. Right after that, well, Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida won, thank God. At least they had the two talented women in the ring win. But then they go from that to a Dark Order package, and Dark Order, while I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of what they've done in the ring or live in the stadiums, I do like their promo packages. They've been very creative, and this was one of those creative packages. So I will give that an up, so to speak. And it was very cool. I do love their packages. I just wish that they could translate that into their in-ring work. I really do. Then you get Sammy Guevara and Jon Moxley. This was great. Sammy Guevara definitely looks like a star when he's out there. He's not very big, but he's a high flyer. He'd be like your typical cruiserweight, but he is so talented. He really is. The guy is just nuts in the ring. Made Jon Moxley look like $1 million, and I like Jon Moxley in his matches. Jon Moxley is just your, if I was going to classify him as anything, he'd be a brawler. But he's damn good at it. Like, he makes everything interesting. So the chemistry between the two really worked. Really liked it. At the end, Jon Moxley gets the win. You knew that was going to happen. And then the Inner Circle come out, and they really beat the hell out of Jon Moxley. And then Chris Jericho grabs a spike, some kind of pointed thing, and looks like he, stabbed Jon Moxley in the eye with it. And, they've got blood coming from, like, his eyebrow or somewhere around his eye. And so they tried to build that up, and it was cool, man. It was a good spot. And then they did a little quick interview with the Inner Circle afterwards, where it was basically Chris Jericho saying, we didn't do this. Jon Moxley did this. This is his fault. Then you get the Blade, the Butcher, and MJF. Ali and Wardlow were at ringside, and they're taking on QT Marshall, Dustin Rhodes, and Diamond Dallas Page. Diamond Dallas Page has been retired from wrestling for a long time. He started in his mid-30s. He's 63 now. And I gotta say, dude, it wasn't terrible. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot of spots there, but what he did do, I mean, it looked good. So he's in there smacking around MJF, of course. And then he eventually gets on the top rope and jumps to a group of guys on the outside. Like everybody's outside the ring, you know, they've done their flips and shit. And so now Diamond Dallas Page jumps off the top rope down to everybody on the ground. Everybody was like chanting, holy shit, you know, of course, because like I said, the dude's 63. So it was kind of impressive, honestly. The rest of the match, it was good. It didn't blow me away. But it was fine. MJF did a bunch of great heel spots, and he's just... I think MJF is the best heel in the business right now, bar none. I don't care if you're talking WWE, AEW, New Japan, doesn't matter, AAA, he's just the best heel in the business. So, at the end of the day, after that spot where DDP does the jump, QT Marshall and MJF wind up in the ring. MJF rolls them up, gets the win, and that was the end. But good, man. Definitely a decent match there. Then they do a bit where they're interviewing SCU, all three members, and Adam Page comes up like he's kind of drunk and he's trying to fuck with SCU. And Kenny Omega has to come and like try to restrain Adam Page, and he apologizes to the other guys at SCU, and you know, they're like, you know, good luck next week. And then you come to the main event, which is Pac versus Darby Allin. I didn't know what exactly to make of this, because there's such a size differential, and I love Darby Allin, but Pac just looks like an absolute killer, like he does. And with his moveset, you know, he really looks legitimate. But it was a really good match, and they were able to sell Darby Allin with his speed very, very well. I mean, the guy is incredibly talented, as is, we already know that. But I think Darby Allin really made this believable. And that was cool. That was very, very cool. So you had some absolutely amazing spots in this match, of course. Darby Allin was so fast-paced throughout this entire match, and Pac, being the absolute professional that he is, just made it look amazing. So the short version is Pac gets the win, and then he starts cutting a promo after the match where he's like, "Well, Jon Moxley's out of the picture, so you guys might as well just go ahead and give me the number one contendership for the AEW Championship." Moxley shows up on the stage area and says, "It's not going to go down like that. You know, I could be blind in one eye, have no eyes, be half dead. I'm still going to show up next week." So next week, it's going to be Jon Moxley versus Pac, number one contendership for Chris Jericho's title. Absolutely love that. It's going to be a great match. Pac and Jon Moxley together, I'm sure, is going to just tear the house down. So overall, it was a very, very good episode of AEW. I really wish that they would get rid of the whole Nightmare Collective bullshit, though. It's bad all the way around. So far, the wrestling has not been good. The creative for it has not been good. They just need to kill it. They just need to kill it, in my opinion. Other than that, very good show. So it still gets a very high grade because it was only that one segment. So I think at the end of the day, I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. Could have been much higher, but that match did exist, and it was terrible. It was their worst match ever. So 7.5 out of 10, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackwitz, Kaged Nation, out.